Yes, the last class we discussed procedures. Okay, and today we will be discussing similar to that functions. Okay, so both are almost similar. Okay, but some differences will be there that we'll discuss later. First, we'll see how to write a function, but we know already how to write a procedure. The same way we have to write a function. Okay, so first, we'll see the syntax of this function. Same like a procedure we have to write. Okay, so I'm just writing create or replace. Then we used to write procedure, but now it is a function. So I'm writing function. Create or replace function followed by function name you have to write. Okay. Thereafter, we used to start with as, and then parameters will be here, right? After that, parameters will be here. That is optional. Same when you compare two procedures, same syntax till here. And then we used to write as keyboard here. Okay. But here, what you need to do, little extra, that is RETURN, return. Okay. Return followed by the data type of what you are returning. Okay. Whatever you are going to return from this function execution, that returning data type it is. Whatever the data you are going to return. Okay. So whatever the data you are going to return from this function execution, that data type I'm specifying here. So this is the difference between procedure and function. Okay. We'll discuss in detail the difference later, but as of now, as, and you can declare the things whatever you want here. After as, begin, and you can write all your executable codes here. Then same exception. Okay, and finally end of the function here. Okay, and along with that, we already written here extra thing when compared to procedure, that is return data type. So whatever I'm going to return. Okay, so that actually coming through begin section only, right? We are writing all our executable code in begin section. So whatever you're going to return, so that you have to specify here. Okay, again, I'm writing the same return followed by, so basically our data or something will be stored in some variables or records or wherever, right? So that holding unit I'm writing here. Okay, so as of now we discussed about variables and record, so I'm writing variable or record. Okay, so this is extra again when we compare to procedure. So remaining everything is same. Now this is simple syntax of our function. We will write a simple program, okay, using this function now. Okay, so what I want to do, I just want to calculate some annual salary for a particular employee, whatever I'll pass at runtime. We already discussed about parameters in yesterday class, right? The same way I'm going to use them. Create or replace followed by function, and you can write any function name. So I'm going to calculate annual salary. So I'm writing my function name as get annual salary. Followed by the parameters you have to write if we have anything. Yes, of course, I have to pass employee number as my input. So I'm writing here in braces my parameter name as p underscore employee number. I no need to write in because by default it will take it as an input, and I will pass number data to this. Thereafter, we used to start with as, but here in case of function, you should specify return. Okay, what it is going to return, which type of data it is going to return. Annual salary means this is definitely numeric data. So I'm writing number. and then as. If you want to declare anything, you can declare, but as of now, I don't know what I need. So that's why I'm starting with begin. There I will see if required anything, I'll come back and I'll declare. Okay, so what I have to do, I just need to calculate annual salary. So in our employee table, we have salary and commission. Okay, first I'll add them both for monthly wise, and then I'll do into 12 months. Okay, so what I'm doing, select salary plus commission. Okay, first I'll add these two. So that's why I'm keeping in braces. Thereafter, whatever is coming into 12. Okay, so this output I have to store somewhere definitely. So I need a variable. So let me declare a variable here, B annual sal. This is my variable, and it will hold numeric data. And here I'm writing into V annual salary, and this is actually from empty table I'm doing, and of course for a particular employee number. So I'm writing where employee number is equal to, and I define my parameter already. So I'm writing this parameter as the input here. Is done. Thereafter, you can use that annual salary, whatever is coming, wherever it is required. Otherwise, you can print it. So as of now, I'm just printing it, dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, and where is my output? This is actually inside of it. So I'm using it. Okay, and thereafter return annual salary. Return followed by the variable. Okay, where your output is there. I holded my output in this variable, so that is what I'm returning. Thereafter, if you want to handle any exceptions, you can write it. Otherwise, it's okay. But it's better practice to write always exception black. So I'm writing exception, and I'm just doing this with others handler. Okay, when others, then print this message dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and here I'm just printing this one SQL error. So it will print error message. That's it. Okay, and finally end of the program. You can also write the function name while ending this, so that we'll come to know this end is belongs to the function. Fine. So this is my program. So let me execute it. Before that, let me enable the output also. Okay, I'm connecting this output session to this connected, and I'm executing this program. Let's see what will happen. Okay, function compiled successfully, means there is no syntactical mistakes or something. Everything is fine. So what we have to do now, we have to execute the function same like yesterday's procedures. We are first compiling, then we have to execute it. So yesterday also we executed using some methods, right? The same way we are doing here. Yesterday we did it using execute command. Okay, so that will not work here. So what we have to do, we have to go for other thing. So we also discussed about executing using anonymous block, means nothing but begin end. The same way here we have to do. So I'm writing begin end, and here I'm writing get annual salary. Okay, this is my function name, get annual salary. And also, of course, you have to pass an input. For example, I'm passing 7839. I know his salary is 5,000. Okay, let's see what will happen. And here it is going to execute and getting the output. Okay, let me see what will happen if I execute it. Okay, and we'll see the error. So always try to get many errors and read that error, so that you will come to know what exactly is happening. If you try to write as it is and make it successful program, then you will not get 50% of the things about that. Okay, so fine. Now you see what it is telling. Get annual salary is not a procedure. It's telling straight away it's not a procedure or is undefined. Right? So means we used to execute a procedure like this in yesterday we discussed, right? Like this we used to execute a procedure, but here it is a function. We have a return type. So whatever the calculation is coming, again I have to store in some variable, right? So nothing but to say output is coming right through this variable v annual salary is already calculating and output is coming. But that I have to return that. So to do that, what I have to do, I'm declaring a variable as of now, something here, v underscore answer. It's my variable here while executing I'm using. And what I'm doing, whatever the returning, whatever the output it is returning, okay, that output I'm assigning to this variable. Understood? Whatever it is returning the function, so that function is returning the output through this variable actually, right? So that output I'm unable to use it. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm now declaring a variable and holding into this variable. Now let me try to execute it. Later on we'll see. Now see, successfully completed, but of course it's not printing anything because you have to write dbms output again here. Okay, if you write here, that is not working. So I'm not writing dbms, sorry, I'm writing now here dbms output dot put underscore line. Okay, and now my output, final output is here in this variable. I just want to print that. Okay, so let me execute this now. Successfully completed again. So what happened? It is printing, not printing. Give me a second. Yeah, something is wrong actually. So what is that wrong? We'll see. What is the number I'm passing? 7839. First of all, we'll check what is the salary and commission for him. So my program is correct. Okay, my function is correct and I'm executing perfectly, but something is wrong. Okay, so then what I have to do? I have to do something kind of a debugging. Nothing but I have to test it. Okay, so what I'm checking, I just want to check salary and commission. I don't want to see all other details from MP table where employee number is equal to, what is the number I'm passing here? 7839 I passed. So for this number, it is not returning any annual salary. Means null is coming actually, I think, right? Let me see what is happening here. There is a salary of 5,000 and commission is null. We already know if you do any arithmetic operations with null value, the result will be again null only. So what actually we are doing, if you go and check here in this calculation, the function, we are doing salary plus commission. Nothing but salary is 5,000 plus commission is null here in this particular employee number case. So means 5,000 plus null is equal to null only. Null into 12, null only. So that's why you're not seeing anything. So what you have to do then? I already told you in last classes when discussing SQL, NVL function. Okay, so you always need to use that function whenever you are doing any calculations. Otherwise, you will get this type of wrong results. Okay, so that's why what I'm doing. Of course, salary is there for him, but still it is recommended to use NVL. Okay, because for him salary is there. If I pass a different input who is not having salary, then again same problem will come. So that's why what I'm doing, I'm now itself I'm converting into 0. If anyone is not having salary, then take 0. If salary is there, take same salary only. So in his particular case, he is having a salary, so it will take 5,000. If he is not having a salary, so then only it will take 0. Okay, so now about commission also same. I'm converting using NVL function. If commission is there, take commission only. If not, take 0. Okay, it's not mandatory to write 0 only. We already discussed. You can write 1,000 also, no problem. But if you write 1,000 or some another thing other than 0, what will happen? It will make differences in your output. That's why I'm writing 0. Okay, so in this case, now commission is nothing, I mean null. So then it will take 0. So means salary is 5,000, commission is null. So means it will take 0. 5,000 plus 0 is 5,000 into 12. 12 5 is 60. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting. So let's see now I'm executing this function again. Sorry, I'm not executing, I'm compiling this function again. Successfully compiled. Okay, now go and execute this function. Okay, successfully completed, and you can see this output. And it is printed for twice, that is fine. But if you see, there is a lot of space came here. What is this space? We executed already before, right? Nothing but it's printed nulls. Okay, it's printed nothing. That's why we are seeing the output here. Okay, so that is fine. But it is printing 2 times. Okay, because you are writing DBMS output while executing here, and also inside it one DBMS output is there. Okay, so you can do one thing. Let's try this way. What I'm doing, I'm just commenting it and clearing this output and executing this same function again. Okay, it's clear. Otherwise, you can do this way also. Let me try. I mean, okay, if you comment it here, then what you have to do? You have to compile it again. If you make any changes to the procedure or function base code, then you have to compile it again. Okay, this compile means all your changes are there. Now I'm executing. Okay, before that, let me clear this output. I'm executing it. So there is a DBMS output enabled. Okay, there is not enabled, here also not enabled. So okay, let me enable it here. Okay. Okay, so you can write DBMS output to print while executing or in a function itself, wherever you want as per your requirement. Okay, so fine. So forget about all these things. So what we did, we'll just go through it once again. I'm just creating a function with a parameter, input parameter, and I'm specifying return number. Okay, so nothing but my output is going to be number type, and thereafter a variable declared to hold my output. And I'm doing a simple calculation there to calculate my annual salary and loading into that variable. And for this particular input, whatever I'm passing at runtime. And thereafter, if you want, you can print it from here. And finally, at the end, what I'm doing, return annual salary. So wherever my output is there holded, that variable I'm returning here. Okay. And thereafter, I'm writing exception flag just as a common thing, end of the function. I compiled it and I'm executing it like this. I'm calling a function by passing an input, and whatever the output is going to come, that I want to hold it into a variable. So that's why I declared a variable and assigning that output to this local variable and executing. Okay. So if you have any confusion till now, let me know. If we don't have any confusion, we'll see the same thing in executing in a different way. Okay, so I don't want to declare any variable. So then no problem. Still, you can just write begin end. Okay, so what is my function name? Get annual salary, right? So I'm taking it. I just want to print it directly. So this is another way for me. So I'm writing DBMS output dot put underscore line. Okay, so actually what you will write here, whatever you want to print, that you will write inside of this put line, right? So I want to print this directly. It's nothing but I'm writing that function here itself so that it will execute and will return me the output. So let me pass 7900. I don't know his salary, but let's see. I'm executing. You can see 11,400 rupees is the annual salary for him. Okay, so this is another way of executing. And another important way of execution is select. Okay, using select is nothing but select statement. Okay, select and I'm writing my function name and pass any input whatever you want. I'm passing 7902 for example. From it's not, this function is not related to any table. I just want to execute it from a select. Okay, so then you can write dual, and I just want to execute it. You can see it is not going to print like a printing message because I'm not writing DBMS output, but you can see it is printing, it is displaying for us 36,000. Okay, so when you compare to procedure and function, this is another difference for us. We can execute the function using select statement also like this. Okay, first let me copy all this to here. If you have any confusion, just let me know. Okay, so we'll see now what exactly the difference between procedure and function. When you compare to procedure and function syntax itself, there is a return, right? Return is nothing but definitely it is going to return something. Okay, function is going to return definitely something, but in case of procedure, there is no return type or nothing, means it may or may not return your value. Okay, procedure may or may not return a value, but function has to return a value. Okay, that's why the syntax itself is having return type, and even in the down also we are writing return. Okay, so if you are not writing return inside of this function, what will happen? We'll just see now. Okay, I'm just executing, sorry, I'm just compiling this program again without return type inside of function. Compiled successfully, no issues. Now I'm just going to execute this function, but there is no return type here. I commented that return. Now I'm executing that. Let's see what will happen. So what happened? Let's see. What is the error? Function returned. Okay, function is returned, but without value. You are not returning any value. Now you understood? Means it's telling function now returned without value. Means function should return a value at any time. Okay, function should return a value. If it is a procedure, that may or may not return a value, no issues. But if it is a function, it should return a value. Okay, it is not returning any value. That's why the error is coming. You can see, and you can rewrite PLSQL function. What is the action you have to take? Rewrite PLSQL function, making sure that it always return a value of a proper type again. Okay, so what is telling? It's telling clearly to you, making sure that it always return a value. Okay, it should return a value and also of a proper type. Proper type means already we specified the type here is nothing but return number. Whatever you specified the type of data, a type of value, the same thing should be returned from here. Okay, so that's why this is mandatory to write. You should return something through your function, but through procedure, not required. It may or may not return a value, no issues. Okay, that is the one difference. Now, second difference we'll discuss. If you want to calculate something, okay, like this, I'm calculating annual salary. The same thing you can calculate using procedure also, no problem. You can do the same thing using procedure also. Okay, but the thing is, it may or may not return a value. It will not throw any error. If you want to return definitely a value, then you have to go for a function. Okay, what I'm telling, the same thing you can do it using, sorry, same thing you can do it using procedure also. Okay, but your procedure may or may not return a value, but function should return a value. Okay, that's why we have here a return type in this begin section. Okay, so it means whenever you feel like you should get some value through your program, so then you have to choose function. If it is not, you can go for a procedure also. Okay, so that is the one thing why you have to choose function. And the difference is the whatever output is coming, for example, this calculation, after calculation, I'm getting annual salary. Okay, so this annual salary, I have to use it somewhere. Okay, so then you can do this using select statement easily for us. We can call, okay, we can call that function from a select statement like this. Okay, and we can do anything, whatever is required, extra things. But in case of procedure, we can't call that from a select statement. Okay, we just need to execute it. That's it. We can't use that output again like this using select statement. Okay, so I'm just simply telling once again, it's a very important interview question. It is, what is the difference between procedure and function? Okay, we discussed already, procedure will not have this written data type. Okay, and also we will be not writing this return variable or whatever it is in begin section. Okay, so that means procedure may or may not return a value, but function should return a value. In function code, if you are not writing this, then we already saw it is going to throw an error as function should return a value, okay, with a proper data type. So that's why if you want to return a value, definitely means you have to go for a function, because procedure may or may not return a value. Okay, so the first difference is procedure may or may not return a value, but function should return a value. Function should return a value. And second thing is, we can't call or we can't execute a procedure from select statement, but we can execute function from a select statement. Okay, so this is another difference. And so we don't have output parameter here. Okay, so we can't write output parameter directly here like a procedure. We have some other things to discuss later, so that will give you the confusion. But as of now, we have only in parameter in function. Okay, so this is the difference between procedure and function. Now, for example, I already written a return type here, right? So we already know if I comment it, it is going to throw error, as you should return some value through your function. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm just going to write one more something. Okay, something I'm writing now, one more select statement I'm writing. Okay, select 1 into 3, sorry, not 1 into 3, we'll do a calculation 25 into 5 or 25 into 4, 25 4 is 100. I just want to see this output. Okay, into, I need a variable to load it. I'll declare a variable v calc. Okay, sorry, this variable I'll declare later. From, it's not related to any table, so I'm just writing here, and definitely it is going to return only one value, not required any output also, but I just want to return this vcalc also. Okay, but before writing return type, let me declare this variable first and we'll execute it. It's a number type. Done. Let me compile it first and then we'll execute it and we'll see what is happening. Okay, function compiled successfully, no errors. Good. Now I'm going to execute it. Successfully completed and 60,000 printed. Good. Still now we are not facing any error. Now what I'm going to do, again I'm going to make some changes to my function. Is nothing but already it is returning this v annual salary. Same way I want to return this v calc also. Okay, how I'm returning annual salary? Same way I want to return v calc also. Means I am trying to return two values. Okay, one is annual salary and another one is whatever the output is going to come through this 25 into 4. Okay, let's see whether it will work or not. Successfully compiled, good. Let me clear these outputs. Now I'm executing it. Okay, you may ask me again. So we are not writing DBMS output, that's why it's not printing. So let me write vcalc. Okay, so this is what I'm returning from there. So let me write vcalc. Done. I'm executing this program. Error is coming. What is this error? We'll see. When I'm trying to execute it, it is throwing error. Identify vcalc must be declared. Okay. Okay, that's it. That is only the one error. When I'm executing, it is coming. Okay, so because this vcalc is not there, v annual sal is a variable I declared already, so it is working fine. So what we'll do, I'm declaring a variable here just to avoid the confusion. I'm taking it as a vcal. I'm declaring it here in local. It's a number type. Let's see now what will happen. I'm executing this again. Successfully completed, good, and it is printing 60,000. Any other thing? No, nothing is there. Only 60,000 it is printing. What happened to vcal? It successfully completed and printing v and sal 60,000. That is also good. But next thing is vcal. Vcal has to be printed. Is nothing but vcal is 25 into 4. It's not coming. Okay, let's do this way. What I'm doing, I'm making some changes to my code again. Okay, that is nothing but I'm removing this vcalc and keeping it here. Okay, you understood, right? What I did? First, I was returning v annual salary, then I was returning vcalc second. Now what I'm doing? First, I'm writing vcalc, and then I'm returning v annual salary. Okay, let's see now what will happen. I'm just going to compile it again. These changes. Compiled successfully. Let's go down. And before that, let me clear this output. Nothing making changes. I'm just executing it as it is. Now you can see successfully completed and it is printing only 100. Okay, which means it is not returning two variables or two values through this function. It is returning only one value. That is also, now we came to know it is returning only the first value. Okay, nothing but you can write n number of returns in your function. It is not going to throw any error, but it is going to return the value only from first return type. You can write like this n number of things. You can write 1000 returns in your function, no problem, but it is going to return the value only from first return statement, whatever you return. That's why the last program, it was first v annual salary, so it was displaying for that, or it was returning only from that, not from vcalc. Now when I changed it, the order, now it is printing or it is returning only from vcalc, not from v annual salary. So which means you can write n number of return types in your functions, but always it will return the value only from first return. Okay, so the another important entry question is here. Can I write more than one return statements in my function or not? Yes, we can write n number of return statements in our function, but is always going to return the value only from first return statement. Means remaining all are useless only. Okay, is clear? So two important interview questions we discussed today. So one is, what is the difference between procedure and function? And second is, can I write more than one return statement in my function? Okay, so any confusion till now? You can ask me.